We meet the players and the characters as they fall through reality, land footfalls on the cut stone that is at their feet. Varsha, Ty, Smith, and Djett all land, and also footfalls of their dwarven companion known as Lane Ember Iron, as they've traveled through both time and space and into this pocket dimension of where Flaeryce Academy resides. Behind is the dwarf with the iron mask, as he sort of, I think, is hunched, but a bit like, what's the word? Cautious for a second. And then almost like they've never been here before, but trust you in the travel. What do you do next?
I am making sure that Djett is okay. I've basically never left his side, and if he needs kind of like help moving along, I'm right there with him. My intention is to get him somewhere safe and then talk with Ty about how we're going to kill some people.
I'm storming up the beach.
Yep.
Lighting a cigarette.
Sure. As you storm up the beachside, lighting the cigarette, you make your way up to the dais. Say the words, I would assume, to meet with Madazar?
Yeah.
Okay.
No, actually, I think we want to get Djett somewhere comfortable.
Sure.
Unless he wants to meet with us.
Yeah, I think watching Varsha manage Djett and whatnot, I'll probably just say to the group, I'm going to update Madazar.
Yeah.
Get Djett someplace safe, and I'll see if I can do something about those hands.
What?
I can come with.
Just relax for now, Djett. You need to rest.
I glanced to Djett's hands because this is news to me. Because he's hidden it, right?
They're still hidden.
Okay.
He did reveal it to Ty, I know.
He revealed it to Ty, but he didn't reveal it to me. I know that.
I did go up to him and I put my hand on his shoulder.
Yeah.
I imagine that I would have noticed.
Mm-hmm.
I've been like this the entire time.
Yeah, he's hidden it.
Most of the time that I'm with everybody, my robes are like this anyway. But it's up to you if you think Smith would have seen. I'm not hiding per se.
Yeah, I'll make a roll for it then. Let me just
Or it's
say,
more of probably out
might
of
be a
shame
retcon.
than it is hiding, you know?
Yeah.
Right? So
Yeah,
that's
I
what
mean,
I'm seeing it as.
I was assisted going up the thing, you know, like although whether or not you thought it was because I was fatigued or not is a whole different matter.
Right.
I'll make a...
Yeah, you were teleported up to the top of that rock cliff.
Oh yes, of course.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but I did that just because I didn't want him to have to climb.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think I knew about his hands.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
I just said, how are we going to get him up there? And I went, I'll do it.
Sure.
I'll make a perception check. I don't think I really investigated.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Pretty high. Those are 19 and 17. It's completely up to you, Meyer, what you would think here. This involves your character and your character's story and such, so it's up to you.
I think that, well, you wouldn't have seen my hands, which may or may not be curious to you. I mean, I've always been in the past very fidgety, you know, like the coins I use for catapult and things like that are things I tend to fidget with normally, at least when I was with you all. I think in this situation, maybe with your high perception rolls of 19 and 17, you may have potentially glanced once or twice a bloodied bandage peeking out of my sleeve.
Okay.
Or I suppose Varsha were they 19? Both bloody, dirty bandages.
I think I probably, if it's okay with you, definitely saw the bloody bandages, but also just know that punishment fits the crime, and you need your hands to do your magic. So I think I suspected if you had when I first looked you over and didn't see anything else, I think I probably would assume. And then the bloody bandages probably confirmed it for me.
Whether or not to the extent of the damage is another thing entirely.
Yeah. And so he says, I'll see what I can do about those hands. And I'm just assuming that, I have no idea that they're completely gone.
Right, they're broken or cut or what.
Yeah, or something. Yeah.
Yeah, I probably don't know exactly to the extent of how badly they're damaged either.
Sure.
Okay.
And I'll update Matazar, and I'll look towards Djett and just say about everything.
Oh, okay. If you can, I don't know if it's possible, but they might know about the portal. I don't know how easy it is to the tower over on the shore. If it's possible to deactivate it or something for a while, okay.
I'll speak to him about it, Djett. Don't worry. Just
all right.
Go rest.
Okay.
And get some food.
Food, I can do that. For everyone?
For you, Djett.
Okay, I can do that.
No, you're not going to do anything. I meant Varsha and Ty.
Okay.
Yeah. Well,
You just need to rest.
Okay. Sorry.
You don't have to apologize.
Maybe.
At this point, you see as you're outside, either on the dais waiting for the spire, or on the beach walking toward the dais to call one of these spires. One of the spires start to rotate and unhook from the dais, from where you would call and summon the spire, from which you would then go to that school or that wing to study whatever the school of magic may be. As one breaks off and starts to then fly off or hover off into the air, another one drifts into its place. And you see a couple of figures up ahead sort of enter in. Looks like some students. As you approach, you notice that some of them are familiar faces. Some of them are some of the prisoners as well, that you had freed from Stormford, that traveled with you at least up to this point, for them to stay and volunteer to learn here and to stay safe here. It looks like they are also heading somewhere, whether it be a class or a lesson. As the doors close, the spire that was called and summoned down breaks off. Dust sort of scatters off of the rocks as this large, one of the many monoliths break off and then start to drift upward toward the sky. As you approach. This dais is where you would call one of these spires to come down, and you would then, of course, like I said, go into one of these schools of magic, but also there are stairs that are sort of have been excavated into this rocky dais in the center of the screen here. This rocky dais has stairs that go downward into different wings of residence halls, and there are different woven stone wicker ceilings that sort of crest outward from probably in a hidden side of this rocky dais. As you all approach, I would assume Djett would make their way toward some sort of residence halls to get some rest.
Yes. I suppose I'll go to wherever I was staying before, my room.
Okay. Who is anyone's going with Djett? That's everyone except Smith?
Yeah.
I've disappeared down a different hallway already.
And
Yep.
and Djett has already disappeared, which may or may not be a surprise to any of you.
Hi.
Ty, thank you.
Yes.
Thank you. All these one-syllable names.
Yes, and I'm heading to Brother Matazar's.
Okay. We follow Smith as Smith says the word that he would need to summon the Spire of Conjuration. As doors open, empty halls ahead of you, and just at the end of this empty lecture hall, there's a room into a quarters that would be Matazar's quarters.
I stopped before the door for a second, just kind of collecting my thoughts. And I bang on the door.
The door opens after a little bit of time. I thought you might be here. How are you faring? As there's like this pearl skull cap and these riding glasses or riding goggles. There is also a contraption of different lenses also affixed to it as he adjusts them as this tall old man puts them onto his forehead and sort of waves his hand as if it doesn't matter. Come inside.
Yeah.
Where is everyone else?
Look,
Is Djett all right?
yeah, not exactly. We got Djett back,
I've noticed.
but he was in captivity for some time. It's very possible that the
I'm aware.
location of this place is compromised. I only know a bit about the teleportation circle and the runes required to do everything, but I don't know if there's a way to secure them or anything along those lines.
We haven't had any reason to.
Well, you need to get everybody together then to
Yes.
put your heads together to figure it out.
We will. Very well. Are you certain that this is a compromised location?
Is anyone certain of anything? Look, Djett was in the custody of Evervale.
Very well.
They got into his head. They might know a lot of the things that he knows. The location of this place is probably pretty important. From what I understand, and from what they might have picked up from various conversations that we've had, and spying here and there, it's very possible that this place is compromised. So you need to do whatever you can to protect it.
Of course. Yes, very well.
As far as us.
Yes.
Djett's been hurt. I don't know how severe. He's been trying to hide it. But I think his hands are very badly hurt.
My... All right, there is... One thing at a time, then. Where is Djett now?
Told him to get some rest in his quarters, but I needed to see you. I'm sure there's a lot of accidents and things that happen here, especially with new people that are brought in, so I'm sure you have some way of healing people when necessary. I just don't know if you're able to do anything for Djett. And if you're not, we need to figure something out.
Yes, well, that's... I will tend to Djett here in, he's all right for now, yes? We must secure the location.
For now, yeah.
We will. I will meet with you all after I meet with the other faculty, and we will decide how we would like to secure, and then I will make my way later this evening down to where the same residence as you were, I would assume.
Yeah.
Right. Nobody has taken any of that, so we will. I'll be with you. Oh my! And you see as Matazar starts to pace in a little bit of a panic movements as they move over to their desk and take out a drawer.
Hey.
Yes. They start to. Their eyes are still focused on the drawer and sort of rifling through different lenses to then hold up to the light, as if trying to look through this or trying to find the right piece that would fit through this scry glass here. Yes.
Tell your people or whatever. Don't pin this on Djett.
I won't. I would never.
Good.
Very well. I must see. And they passes over toward the scry glass and starts to fit some more lenses onto it, and tries to, at least looks like they're trying to discern for a little bit more information, whether or not something around Evervale could maybe give them clues, or if anybody near the path or the outside of Pendulum may be a good place as Matazar starts to rifle through and start to size out some of these lenses. And they make their way over toward a... it looks like there's this leather hood over over like the cylindrical apparatus on a pillar or a column, and they lift it up, and there is it looks like an eagle made of feathers, but it looks like it is a golden eagle, but smaller, not as large as like a normal natural golden eagle. But their shoulders and the crests are plumed with chestnut and gold. As he opens the cage, it sort of hops out onto his arm, and then he just lets it out into the window, and it flies out. Letting the faculty know to meet here. And then the scrolls are then pulled out of various cupboards, and it looks like plans of Pendulum. Doesn't look like scribblings or architecture or drawings or drafting of whoever made Flaeryce Academy, or any of the scribbles here. It looks more like it was taken from Pendulum, as if whoever the person was who drew up the plans for Pendulum or some of the buildings there, as Matazar starts to rifle through some of them and try to find and start to plan for something. And then he starts to then go back and forth between the scry glass and the scrolls.
Where's Brother Sykes? Have you seen him?
Brother Sykes is assuming I've not seen him. He's probably in his quarters. I would assume.
Think I've got a bit of an idea. I'm gonna run it by him.
Very well. Be careful.
Yeah.
As it seems like Matazar's really highly focused as they start to scribble through some of these scrolls. As we then pass, and I think we follow that eagle as it flew out the window, as it soars between some of the spires around here, landing or swooping by the dais that calls these spires. And then as it does, the camera locks on to the stairs, and then we follow and chase these stairs down toward the residential quarters, where some of the doors are open, much like a college dorm room, dorm hallway, where you could hear some of the students down the hall practicing some of their spells and things. But you three, including Lane, who follows you, make your way into the residence hall with Djett.
I will help him get comfortable, probably start making tea or just anything for him to drink that's warm. Get him a blanket. Immediate strange.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
I instinctively reach out to drink, but I hold back and I don't take the mug from her. And I suppose watch her set it on the table and just look at it.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I'll get to it later.
Take your time. I shift a little uncomfortably. I'm not really sure what to say.
I almost mirror the shifting. Just as weary and uncomfortable, I suppose.
Lane and Bryan is also just also awkwardly standing here. Their mask is still on. They're sort of looking around, inspecting some of the stuff, picking up some of the artifacts in here as well.
So, how long was I gone for?
A few days.
Only that. It truly felt like a lifetime.
Yeah.
It's not your fault, of course. It is the way of their magic, I guess. They had ways of making even the most mundane thing feel like this.
It's funny how your entire life can change in just a few days.
I could have sworn at least months, maybe even a year had passed.
You think we'd just leave you?
No, of course not.
I mean, you had to have. at some point thought that that's what had happened if a year had gone by.
No, I would like to say I have too much faith in you all. I never once doubted that you weren't trying.
And they didn't break you.
I don't respond.
I know that you didn't look at me, but I did look at you then.
I would not be so sure of that. I would not be so sure of that.
I am sure.
I suppose we'll see.
I'll go over and just stand nearby, I think, kind of feeling the energy, and if it's okay for me to reach out and put a hand on your shoulder. If I feel like it might be, then I'll go ahead and I'll do that.
I think I don't move as you approach, but when I'm touched, I think I would flinch.
Yeah. This is a weird question. Is it like a flinch as in you're flinching because something sudden has happened, or you would not like me to remove my hand? Because I feel like there's a difference. There's like that initial like, oh shit, I'm being touched, but then you relax into it, or is it like I should just not touch you at all?
I think the former. It's almost as if just the sensation is just like an electric shock.
Yeah. Then I'll stay nearby.
In your... I can't speak of it.
It's okay, you don't have to. You never have to. But I'm here if you do want to.
Okay. In your time there, were you aware of what sort of things go on in your dungeons for punishment?
Unfortunately, yes.
I see. I stare at the tea and then avert my gaze from it for a while.
I'll sit down next to you.
I think I shiver in the heat of the fireplace and, Basha.
I got taken in when I was 15. Maybe 16. I was down at the docks. I was supposed to be getting something for my mom. And I was just taking my time. There was a little girl there. No more than 6. You know those big fishing crates?
Uh-huh.
I always stack them so high. And they started to topple over, and this girl she didn't even hesitate. She just lifted her hand and the crate stopped. She saved the merchant's life.
She was Spellkin.
Yes. They came down to, they came down to get her, and I said it was me.
And they took you in?
think they believed me. Or maybe they did and they just wanted to see me do it again.
Did you know at the time?
I had a feeling that I was, but I was nowhere as strong as she was. So it was a bit of an effort.
I'm sorry. Do you know where she is now?
No. It's Tenno's daughter. That's how we met.
Oh. I see. I suppose it's for the best. So you have always been like this then, have you?
What do you mean?
A protector.
I think it's easy to think that. But do you know what they do when you don't report your child?
I do.
My mom always wanted another. Saved one. Lost another. For what? It's not thinking through is what it is. It's this desire to prevent pain, but not thinking it through. That's what I did and what I'm trying not to do. Because right now, Djett, all I want to do is go back there and hurt the people who hurt you.
I don't know what good that would do. I would hate for you to lose your head on my behalf. After all, Miss Vasha, who is there to protect you the way you try and protect others?
I think it's strange. I feel what I'm feeling, and then sometimes I'm feeling what Ty's feeling, and I'm trying to figure out what's what. But I think something that is mine is that I am happy to lose my head for you. Or Ty, or Smith. Because I swore after that girl, I said I would never lose my head again. I feel like I have family now.
At this point, a stubby black glove reaches over and just rests on your knee for a moment, just to get your attention. Varsha, you look up and see that laying in this iron mask is just sort of looking at you. And there is their body language, a sense of empathy, whether that is their neck is a little bit probably craned toward you, like listening, and their head is turned a little bit as they haven't taken off this mask since you've met them, but almost like they wanted you to know that it's okay and that they're also in this room. And they gesture with their glove that they're going to leave you both in here with some privacy, but it's sort of a hard way for them to express that. And I think that is what you would pick up as they try to make their way out, and then they look back at you, and you see this this iron mask, and they make a sign for, you would assume, is some sort of compassionate thank you, and then they turn it and try to just go find someone, but they just sort of disappear into the hall and leave you in this room for this moment between you two, almost like they don't want to be a part of something that they don't, that isn't their business, you know?
I feel slightly embarrassed for a second.
I think I pick up on it, and I just say, Miss Vasha, as happy as you would be to put yourself on the line for us, you can be rest assured that that wouldn't do anything to make us feel any better, you know? I would be no happier for your loss, even on my behalf. I respectfully, either all together or not at all, you know? You, me, Ty, Mr. Smith. Fuck this one, right?
Yes.
But selfish as it may be, I, for one, do not want to lose any of you for it. And I am sorry for what I have done.
You never need to apologize. You have done nothing wrong.
I tried. The God and above, I tried.
You have done nothing wrong. And you did not fail. And they did not break you.
They tried.
They tried, but they didn't.
We'll see.
No, you never lost hope that we would come for you. That's what they tried to take. And they didn't.
I suppose. Although take they did. I'm glad that we got out when we did. And as quickly as we did, because I feel rather selfish.
Selfish.
I haven't really looked because I don't want to believe it is true. But it is very hard not to know. And I think I know. I think I'm going to look up, I guess, steal a brief glimpse at Vasha. I can't really maintain eye contact, and I'm going to just, with my mouth to the knots, just unravel my bandage on my hand.
I will go ahead and stop you from doing that, and then I will take the bandages off for you.
Okay. I allow her to take off the bandages on my hands.
You slowly unravel the bandages. They sort of, after a couple of wraps, bloom open and reveal and sort of fall and reveal that an arm with that ends at the wrist, a scar, almost like a precision suture of arcane energy or divine energy of some sort of magic, was put through this wound to close it quickly, to prevent any more blood loss. It is sealed, and it seems to the bandages seem to be what's the word? More cosmetic than they were actually. They seemed more superficial than actually, as if it was a utility, if they were a necessity, I should say. Looks like they were wrapped to cover up and to hide. Like someone put these on to hide this from someone else, or had them put on. But the wounds are sealed. There's a dimpling, or like a, as if, there's a dimpling of scarring that goes right across from, you would see the one bone in your arm to the other. And that applies to both hands and both arms. They stop. And you also see that there is a splotchy pigmentation on Djett's wrists and arms that indicate some sort of burn, maybe, as they blister a bit. The blisters seem to still exist here, but the wound itself, the severing of this wound, that is closed, but there is some sort of blistering that seems to begin to heal.
Like I said, they tried.
I'm just holding your forearm area, I think, and maybe just running my thumb up your arm kind of gently. And I'm trying to keep it together, but if you're crying, I'm just gonna sit and cry with you, I think. Fucking horrific.
I'm trying
I will
not
try to heal you, actually. Can I get rid of these burns? Fucking only good for killing people? Jesus Christ. Yeah, I am. I'm so sorry. I don't know how to help you.
You could still try. What do you have? Do you have a lay on hands, or did we?
Oh, I should. You're right.
Something?
No. I should. Because I'm back to being a paladin now, right? Hold up. Yeah, I do. Oh, bless. Yes. May I do this? For the burns. Obviously, I know I can't give him his hands back, but...
Sure. Yeah. Go ahead and spam it if you have it in the... Where is it? Yeah. Yeah, what does this look like as you hold the wrists of Djett in this moment?
Well, I learned all of my healing magic from Djett, so it's green like his magic is.
Sure, I think as you
And
hold...
I think I just trace my fingers along the edge of the burn, and it kind of dances along the outside, and then it's just gentle, and then it removes the burns. It kind of eases them, almost like maybe a sealing ointment, sort of like liquid goes over top, and then it eases into his skin.
You have your paladin level. You have 25 healing points that you can spend here.
I don't think
spend any amount of them.
Varsha understands that, so I will use it all.
Yeah, she doesn't, but this is at PB, you get to choose whichever. Yeah, when I figured that's what you would do, I just wanted to double check. And for the people who are like, lay on hands, how much then? Anyway, so you go ahead and you start to trace and utilize all of the healing pool that you have. And there is this, as you start, it starts off faint and low, but there is a trace of green light that starts to then trickle from your finger, almost like steam from a steam licking up from wet clothes next to a hot fire, as this green sort of steam starts to it's interesting. It doesn't plume like steam would. It seems like it's going backwards into the wound rather than going out. It's like, and as you start to, and begin
to
use lay on hands.
I rolled the Arcana check.
She rolled an Arcana check, and it was a natural 20. Okay.
Does this mean we can do something fucking cool?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. May I quickly message Meyer?
Yes. You have, remember, in your control here, and as Varsha, you have void magic and divine magic. Your divine magic comes from learning things from Djett, and we see it as this green energy, but also your void we start to see now as this distorted, darker bluish, purpley, more probably bluey black. When it comes to just coloring, it's probably more distortion than anything else. But I let you both sort of figure out what you'd like to do about this natural 20 Arcana check to lay on hands. Great context and hilarious name of a spell. The green. Mm-hmm. Yeah, take your time. I got this. Maybe I'll try my best. As you drag your fingers across.
Okay, we got it.
All right, never mind.
We got
it. So there's some green of that reverse steam that's sort of flowing into the wound, but also you start to see hues of purple as you start to look around, and it catches your eye. But like you feel, when you notice that someone's watching you, and or you feel like someone's watching you, but that doesn't stop you, and you start to then, focus more, like that's giving you the motivation, like, oh yeah, here, watch me, this is what's about to happen. As you start to feel the presence of the Spellwind sort of blow through here. The Spellwind in this pocket dimension still exists. It is like, I was thinking it when I was thinking about earlier today and how Flaeryce Academy works and everything. It's almost like somebody copy and pasted the reality, or like created a separate mini server of this reality. So using the same code of how things work in Hearth and on the Spine also exists here. So there is also the Spellwind. It may not be as natural, but it does still exist here. And of course it should, considering they do train here. It doesn't happen as frequent, but they do train still with something about the Spellwind. As it shows up here. Actually, I'm going to take that entire thing back. They don't have the Spellwind here, but it's still here.
Oh.
It shows up. This still is the feeling. They don't train with the Spellwind, but it shows up in this moment as if it either followed you or you brought it with you, but it makes itself present here. Because I think that's the one thing they can't train students to be ready for is the Spellwind. It's a volatile magic that still happens. So if you were to train and master it, then it's different. Anyway, it makes it not volatile. So it doesn't exist in this realm, but in this case it does. And in the cases that around you all, when you interact, it does. Which is interesting. Anyway, go ahead, take it away.
Okay.
Just an aside before we continue.
Mm-hmm.
Because of... So alchemists, as far as I have been taught, for what we do not use the Spellwind either. My name, which some may know, is perhaps a nod to that fact. At least my surname is. So, Varsha using this healing spell in the fashion of the alchemists, but not so, because there is no reagent. But using what is, in essence, her essence to bring about the same thing. I would like to put forward that this invites from somewhere a stray gust of the Spellwind. And as luck would have it, we are blessed by it. And on top of this action that she has done, this Holy Varsha action, this lay on hands, this selfless action, Dungeon Master, aside from the fact that, well, now looking at my arms, the acid scarring is now very much a thing of a distant past. In fact, scarring on a whole is completely gone.
I do want to let you know that I trust you both completely here. So it's up to you, whatever you'd like to do with whatever this benefit is. It could be the scarring, it could be your hands grow back, it can be anything. It's up to you. This is your scene. This is your character, Djett, or Meyer, and this is your Arcana awesome Spellwind crit here. So whatever you both want to do, I'm down with.
Okay. So, you see, Varsha's magic, our magic, enter into my arms. And the scarring, as the dungeon master has described, fades away. Pain, all memory of trauma is gone. But also color leaves the room. It is almost as if time stops as the fire next to us freezes cold from orange to a steel gray. But the moment between us here, I want to say, is ever present, ever moving. And as I move my right hand, I realize that for a second, I was moving my right hand. Color returns to the room. But what we see isn't a hand per se. It is almost like points in the wide, vast galaxy, stars, nebula, made ever so minute and minuscule, imitate and form into the shape of a hand. And I think this shocks me.
I think it shocks me too.
And as we take a joint gasp, it dissipates. What was that?
I don't know. I don't know. I don't know.
What was that?
I don't know.
What do you mean? You did it? What? I look to my hands and my wrists. My hands aren't there on either arm. You saw that, yes?
I hold out my hand to try to shake his hand. I don't know if that's the thing we do here, but
I
like to reach out to clasp fingers?
yeah, like
Okay.
to touch hands. And I kind of just quirk my head at him a bit. Like, try it. Like, this is something we've always done together, is try and experiment and...
try. Okay. I extend my wrist out towards her.
Yes.
And
Go ahead.
for a moment, nothing happens. And I take a deep breath and breathe. And as I exhale, Varsha's hand emanates from my wrist and clasps her hand in a firm handshake.
A breeze of Spellwind sort of falls out of the sleeve of Djett for a moment, but as this lavender quantum wind does, it brushes across where Djett's hand would be, and then you see it sort of change from this purple hue into this green one as it envelops, and then another shape of this hand appears and clasps your hand as well. So tell me about this, Meyer. Does your hand look like Varsha's? Does your hand come and go as it pleases? Is it a ghost hand with when the spell wind brushes by it, it is revealed? What is happening here?
It is non-permanent.
Okay.
Spectral, purple, like stars,
Cool.
but it wills itself into existence when I do,
When you need it.
Oh.
Yeah.
or maybe when Varsha does. I don't know what controls it, But it is me and it is here. At least when I need it to be.
Sure. As you are both now clasping one of your hands with the feeling of Djett's other hand.
I didn't mean to do that. I'm glad.
I guess Mr. Smith was right all along, huh?
About?
I can be fixed.
Another hand of Djett's appears as I think the camera pulls out into a wide shot of both of you, sort of have both of your hands clasped to one another as we fade away from the scene.
The ceremony.
The camera follows the footsteps, more silent than usual, of Ty, as Ty makes their way, weaving in and out of some of the corridors alone in the Flaeryce Academy. Is it the residence halls, or tell me where you have disappeared to, Brad?
Well, I know my way around by now. I wandered this place with nothing to
Right,
do for a
that's
month. So I guess you tell me, where would I potentially find a weapon of the type that I'm looking for?
So, a type that you were looking for, or you tell me what you're looking for, a light quality weapon?
Short sword or scimitar, something along those lines.
Make me an investigation with advantage, because you know your way around.
Natural 25.
Get the fuck out of here. Okay, well, great. Perfect. That is the first two rolls today. That is sick. Okay, so...
Canonically, that happens at the exact same time that Varsha hits the 23.
Okay,
Yes.
yeah, all right. I love that. I love that.
I've been wondering that amount of time.
Yeah, Spellwind just sort of kicks up in around, and you just happen to be in the vicinity. Maybe a breeze sort of blew in as you took the teleportation circle here, and maybe it chased you into this as reality snaps and folds on itself. And maybe it brought a pocket or a gust of Spellwind with it, and it has been following you both, and probably each of you. Just we'll see how it affects as we go. So you are looking for a scimitar or a short sword.
Mm-hmm.
And wow, and it is. We are in a. Not that one. We are in a arcane academy in this weird pocket dimension. What would be around? So as you look through some of the area, I need you to tell me what places and what the locations are that you search for, because I need to now frantically look for a weapon.
I presume that there isn't an armory in this place of a traditional kind. So what I do imagine this place has is things that adorn the walls. So while there's probably many bookshelves with books. For the most part, this would be a scholar's haven for magical books and old spell books and scrolls and things. I don't know how much effort went into making this place seem appealing, but I don't see why it wouldn't be. So there's probably tapestries and things as well. But something that I think you'd potentially find in a lot of castle-like, keep-like structures like this along the cold, endless hallways is swords and staves and war hammers and picks and things that are mounted on the walls. And I think I sort of just go through my memory trying to remember any of them that looked particularly interesting, and also those that didn't look like too ornamental. I want something that was practical, that someone placed on one of these walls and isn't maybe too old or whatever. So for a while here already, I think I've been moving up and down the hallways to the areas where I recall seeing weapons, looking at them, maybe lifting one or two of them off of the wall, looking it over, realizing that it's shoddily made but very pretty, put it back, move to another hallway, head down some stairs. At the bottom there's maybe something on a mantelpiece that I take off, look at that over. It's too heavy, not the type of thing that works well with my sort of dancing style of fighting. And I just continue to maneuver around the halls in that way until ideally until I land on something. If I don't find one, then it doesn't matter.
You don't find one. I'm just kidding. As you make your way through the hallways and you start to pluck artifacts, and it looks like a lot of the artifacts and things that are placed in and around Flaeryce Academy are meant to be decoration. There isn't a reason it wouldn't be some magical or enchanted weapons. It's almost like when you were to go to some sort of professional establishment, and they have things that are to furnish and decorate the room. That sort of happens throughout Flaeryce Academy. And sometimes there are old palantirs of long fallen wizards, or even wizards who have retired and left this gift for the students. There is you do find a dais toward, I think, one of the back stairways down to maybe maybe in the bowels of the residence halls and the residence tunnels. There is like a mess hall where people, of course, would eat in this great hall. But there's like a back access way that usually some of the alchemists would go if they were to go practice and utilize some of the equipment in the galley or the kitchenette and things like that. So there's like this lavatory and kitchenette where these students would be, but there is a dais on the way that is almost like an exhibit or like a memorial is a better term, of an old wizard from, it seems like she taught, or was a student here. She fell in a great in a great battle, I think, in the southern reaches. And her last request was her blade to be brought to the academy for the students to train and learn with. But it seems as if behind some sort of, or on some sort of rack with a portrait painted of her and a small bust of her as well, they have let this marble slab be a memorial. A scimitar also draped on this velvet red cloth sits.
Don't mind if I do.
As you pick up the scimitar, very light. It's very sharp.
I'll give it a few swings around. I'll tap it against something to test the density and potential strength.
Sure. The velvet cloth sort of lifts up as you also see that underneath there is a sheath or a wrapping of looks like blue scales for the blade itself. There are up the fuller, or that indentation that goes up the blade, mainly for strength, and also the blood vein if for swords. It is pocked with sapphires that sort of go up the fuller as well, almost like stars would, and it would probably remind you like some sort of constellation. When you pick it up, I need you to make me a perception check.
$26.
Okay. As you go to pick it up, you hear I think a wooden stair behind you creaks, but it's underneath probably a rugged stair. So you hear that as the muffled creak happens, and I think behind you is the squatted stature of Lane and Bryan. The iron mask sort of.
Bloody hell. Trying to give me an heart attack, ain't you? Thought I'd activated some sort of arcane alarm.
The dwarf sort of shrugs. The handle of this.
What'd you make of that?
Yeah, as they go to
turn the sword towards him.
Raises a hand and also gestures for you to give it to them.
Hand it over.
They take a look at it. They hold it by the blade first, the handle in the air. It's got a knuckle guard that seems to have some runes inscribed onto it, and also an ivory of some sort of creature, or a bone scrimshot of some sort of creature in this swirling pattern that goes toward the pommel. As Lane looks at it, and then starts to inspect it as if a blacksmith would. Starts to then inspect the rivulets, the fuller, and then also the strength of the blade. I think they start to even just lean with it and then try to see if it keeps its edge. And they, with three fingers, you see their leather gloves slide under their mask, and then, as if you would imagine, their teeth would be holding the glove as it slides out, and they start to press and pinch their three fingers up the blade to try to measure the edge still on it, as they sort of nod and then give it back.
Yeah, it seems all right, doesn't it?
Take the glove from under their mask, and they nod. And then they tap it, and then do this a gesture that's indicating you would probably take as Spellwind.
Yeah, that's what I need. I need something that's going to... it's actually going to go into the God King's neck and not just break on impact.
Lane nods and then backs up a bit, reaches behind them into their, tucked into their belt as the face render, their mace, as they slide it out and they sort of hold it and like swing it a little bit, like, huh? And then they realize that they're swinging a really deadly mace, and they grab and hold the chain and wrap it around their knuckle and then hold up the handle so it's sticking, and they try to get into a really shoddy sword position. And then they sort of gesture toward your face, and then the dwarf tries to stand up and then do a dueler's salute toward you, and then gets back into some sort of position that you would assume is a shoddy, a poor duelist position. You being able to fight and dueling people and knowing what is open, he's leaving himself wide open because he has no idea what he's doing. But he is more interested in what that sword does and what you could do with it, as he is a couple of steps above you as you are sort of on this this back. I'm imagining this as like there's probably a secret passage or a passage that no one really uses by the kitchen that sort of goes down some rugged stairs. There's a turn, and then it goes down more stairs. That turn is where just this sort of interesting old memorial is to this wizard, and you are in front of it, and he's still up on those stairs. The kitchen is probably behind him, and he's just sort of in this interesting dueling stance.
I take the sword, I run it back on it, down the back of my arm because we're in quite close quarters, and then I hold it up in front of me, but then I look over again to the...
Arcs by your elbow. Okay.
I look to the mural, or, memoriam of this wizard. What was her name?
Great question. The name is... Man, if only I had a name ready. And we'll get there. Just need to click this button, and I'm sure there'll be some name. No? These all suck. Vanayar. Vanayar. Vanayar.
And I look towards that memorial and I say, "In your honor, Vanayar." And then I very purposefully clumsily, go to strike at Lane in the hopes that he defends it. But as I step forward, I say, "Don't blame me if this turns you into a fish." And then it's a very clumsy and obvious strike.
There's a humorous grunt that happens from under the iron mask.
I kind of want him to smack this thing with the mace.
Yeah, so he's got this flail. It is upside down, and he's got sort of bundled the heavy chain around his knuckles, and then he's holding the handle as if it was a sword. There's still the rest of the face render, and like the bolted sheet metal is just hanging sort of underneath his knuckles, and this stupid, blunted club is acting like a sword right now as he goes to, I think... as you go to strike, just make me an attack roll here and just give it disadvantage because you are trying to not be so great with it.
Okay, let me add a scimitar real quick.
Oh, yeah. And then I can give you more of the stats as well, too. It's going to be +3.
Oh, my God. +3.
And that's what I will give you for now. There is more to it, but for this roll, it's a +3.
18.
Yeah, you go to strike, and this clumsy maneuver. You have you have a plus 12 now. As you go to strike, on the back foot, Lane sort of steps back and then beats the sword with a really hard pong, as a lot of the strength goes into it, like almost worried that it was more of a reflex than it was a delicate spar, as he beats the sword away as it plangs in this loud echoing in this hallway. I need you to make me a... because you're sort of being light and clumsy here with this. Go ahead and make me a... hold on, let me see if there's even... what the hell the rules are for this. Because I don't do this often. I need you... make a strength saving throw.
A 14.
Okay. And what is your... well... what's your proficiency bonus?
4.
4. Got it. So... as you go to strike, and he beats this out of your hand, the your hand is chased with the momentum of him striking it as hard as he could. Your hand falls, and it's almost like the weapon dragged a lot of your body weight with it, rather than you sort of catching and controlling it. As if your hand wasn't holding on to it, it would have been disarmed into the wall. But you sort of chase with it as it's, and then it's a weird it's a weird clumsy maneuver that I don't think you would have experienced before. And I think also you see the iron mask, the head cocks as well, as Lane sort of resets back into another position, and then grabs the top of the quote-unquote sword he's holding, and then lets go of the chain around his knuckles, and it starts to dangle, and then he holds it with two hands, and he nods at you, and then he holds the hand up like a gentle hand, probably indicating that he'll go easy on you, and then he position.
I need to go easy on me, son.
You hear him from underneath the iron mask. He is going to swipe, and a chain raises up into the air as face render comes down upon you. It is going to be... he goes to strike, and the chain wraps around a wood banister that's nearby. Actually, it's the wooden post that is nearby. The head of the flail is stuck as he goes to swing, and the flail is still there. His hands have left the handle in the air as it falls, as he has disarmed himself, as I rolled a natural one, as he goes to strike you, and then stops, and then goes and grabs it again, and then goes for another strike. This time, the flail raises into the air, and I've rolled a 17.
That would beat my AC.
Okay. So this is sparring, so it's not necessarily coming to attack you or anything, but as you go to... by how much does it break your AC?
By 1.
Okay. I think you hold up the scimitar that we are calling Vanayar. As you hold up Vanayar for a second, the head of the flail wraps around, and then you get a yanking as Lane is trying to disarm you.
Hmm.
Give me a strength check with advantage.
A strength check or a save?
Save, sorry, with advantage. 15.
A 15.
Even it's interesting. You get yanked with it. Once again, if you were to be disarmed here, you couldn't.
I
And then Lane is pulling, trying to see if it can budge, and I think your hand is
just
sort of-
holding onto this thing.
yeah, as it's just being thrown around, and he's trying to see if he can, and then he stops, and then he nods.
I wish I could say that was me.
Unravels the head off of around Vaniar.
But I am not that strong. I do believe this will never leave my hand unless, I suppose, someone cuts my hand from my body. Okay.
You do, I think, experiment with that theory. You are able to let go of it, as you did give it over to Lane for Lane to inspect, but you did not need to. It did not. It seems if you were to will a disarm, or if you were to will letting go of it, then it will let itself. But if you are in fighting and you need the sword, it will stay. You cannot be disarmed.
Good. I take the wrap. I start wrapping it around the sword,
Sure.
and I
grab the.
take a step away. I'm immediately just kind of refocused, like almost like it's probably from Lane's perspective like just a disconnect instantly, and then I shake my head and I turn back to the mural and say, I know that this sword's probably got its own name, but I'm going to call it Vaniar, since that way you won't be forgotten if I accidentally leave this somewhere, or it ends up in a forgotten grave with me. Alright. And then I continue wrapping the sword and walk past Lane. I'm going back, Lane.
Lane nods.
As soon as I can. Just gonna let the others know. See what they want to do.
Lane sort of swings the head of Face Render, sort of signifying that he's with you. He understands.
I sort of
And you probably
this
would do
thing
the same.
is wrapped with not a scabbard, but it's wrapped in like a
Blue dragon scale.
blue dragon scale. So it is a scabbard.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah, and then I begin attaching that scabbard to my own belt as I head back towards I guess I would head towards Varsha.
Sure. Make sure to let me know. I will try to edit this weapon up because I'm hacking a weapon, and then I will send you all of this stuff either later or later on in the episode, whatever we see. But I have the stuff here, and I'll let you know all that stuff. Okay. As you make your way toward the residence hall or through where you would assume they all are. Yes.
Yeah, I assume
Sure.
that they went back to either Varsha or Djett's room, so
Sure.
wherever that is.
All right. As we leave you and Lane walking through the halls and weaving and navigating your way back, Smith, what are you doing? during this time. You had an idea, if I remember
Yeah.
correctly. Yeah, okay.
Heading to find Brother Sykes. I'm assuming in the
Yes.
well, in the Void Tower.
Yes. As you make your way to the Void Tower, saying the word from Void speech as this overgrown spire lands and perches on the where you are. And inside, the door is open. It's still pretty dusty in here, low light, as God rays sort of pierce through the large windows of this lecture hall. There is that large device that you and Djett helped restore is still sort of looming in the center of this room up on the, I think right in front of what they would utilize, a large stone slab, as if it was a chalkboard. There are, of course, runic equations across the chalkboard, but you see sitting at a table a bunch of strewn out pages and manuscripts. A bottle of ink seems to be spilled, a quill out of its resting place as it is, I think, dancing on the chin of the blind Brother Sykes as he is sort of piercing through notes and flipping through this book as you come in, and the door opens and you hear a oh, Smith,
Yeah.
everything all right?
No, everything's not all right.
Oh no.
Look,
As he pushes away from the desk and some of his notes, and he stands.
I need to ask you some questions about void magic.
Mm-hmm.
Questions you're probably not going to like.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm in kind of a mood right now where I don't really care, if I'm honest.
All right.
Has it ever been used in any sort of grand scale destruction that you know of?
Grand scale destruction. You see, he peers over toward the this blind man, peers over towards the table of notes and this book, and grand scheme, no. Void magic has had a stigma of being tied to necromancy throughout history, and people have utilized, and it seems, I'm reading and deciphering a book now that interchanges necromancy, evil, and the void. It's quite fascinating, but also it seems quite wrong. But no, not in a sort of grand scheme that I would think of. Though, of course, the sundering could be something, but the sundering was done caused by Gialuna. You mean like, explain. If you would be so kind. And sort of, as he says, explain, and then retracts his statement, you sort of can feel that he remembers that you're the blacksmith. Yes, so just, if you would be so kind. Remembering his place in this conversation.
I am, I'm walking around the device.
Mm-hmm.
The way that I understand this device and its different components. These tears of Geoloon, they appear and reappear, and they go someplace else. And when I make the teleportation circles, void magic is a part of that, yes?
Correct.
I'm assuming that Flaeryce Academy is able to be in another place partly because of void magic, yes?
Of course. Very astute of you. And yes, it wasn't for void magic we would not be able to have this pocket of solace.
Pacing back and forth. Look. We just went to Evervale. Djett was hurt. We got him back, but he was hurt. They did a lot to him. You might have some insight on some of those things.
Things they
I've
would
never
do to... I'm so sorry. Continue.
I've never been one for the torturing of prisoners. I've had to do it sometimes. I've never liked it. But we can't let this continue.
I see. What does void magic and what are you I understand and agree.
Flaeryce exists and it doesn't exist. It's not where it's supposed to be.
Yes.
Which means it has an anchor. Something to keep it someplace else.
Yes.
What happens if the anchor is gone?
It is quite curious, but in the when you say the grand scheme, I think you meant.
I want to send the Evervalian castle into the void with no anchor.
I see.
I want to send the loving queen, the god king, and Lord Creighton into the void. I want them gone.
This is quite
Can it be done?
Yes, of course it can be done. I mean, we were able to utilize and move. This is. We haven't. Yes, it can be done. Flaeryce Academy as a whole has been transplanted using, of course, the anchor of the Tower of Pendulum, or at least some sort of something. Anyway, if we are to be able to find some sort of anchor, we could lift. Lift may not be the correct term, but there could be some sort of splitting where the reality that we stay within does not have.
The anchor needs to be severed midway.
Correct. Midway. So it has no entanglement for any sort of... very well. Yes, it can be done. I would think I would have to do some computing to see how and what we would need to have for an anchor that we would then be able to cut off, as well as the entire, all of Evervale. What are you thinking? Just the few? The castle, you said?
The castle. If the castle's gone, God King is gone.
On his will.
And the loving queen is gone, and Creighton is gone. The sworn will lose their faith.
I like this.
The symbol of Evervale is gone.
Yes.
That will be enough. Whatever has to be done, I'll do it.
Right. Well, if we are going to need an in-depth plan here, and when I mean that, I mean something to scope. We could use Matt as our scrying glass, and we could be able to get some of the layout of my several crystals. I
know my way around, and I can sneak when necessary. If I have to draw any spell runes, if I have to... It doesn't matter.
They start to turn and look at the large stone slab that's been erected onto the wall with a lot of these runic formulas across it, and a couple of solutions and symbols are erased. And then another rune is drawn. Some more is erased, and then it's going to take some time. And a lot.
I have work to do anyway.
Good.
We're still in our old rooms. Going to be tending to Djett.
All right.
I know this isn't what you intended.
No, it's not. He flicks his attention from, as you're sort of talking here, toward the book, or the strewn of notes, this blackboard, and also that large device that is sort of propped onto the middle of this, in the lecture hall here. As they go on, but that is what he's doing as you're sort of...
But it's what has to be done.
I understand. I believe so as well.
Flaeryce is also in danger.
What is that? As I, the
They
rules.
captured Djett.
No.
We got him back, but they captured him.
He's all right. Is he all right?
He will be.
Right. I will.
We'll make sure of that.
If I don't see him soon, I plan to. But if I am stuck here with ideas or things, let him know I am. He's in my thoughts, and I will try to make my way to see him and see you and all soon, and make my. How so? Have we confirmed that we are in danger here?
There's been no confirmation, but there's a good chance.
Oh. Right. Marisol knows, yes?
Yes.
I think at this point, a golden eagle sort of lands through and flies through this room and perches onto a podium nearby and get out of it. And as Sykes tries to shoo this hawk away, as the hawk is flustered and then flaps and flies out of the room. Matisor's keeping an eye on me.
I have a lot of work to do.
Yes?
If you need help, let me know.
Likely. After meals tonight, and I will likely be late into the evening here if you'd like to ruminate on something.
Turn around and walk out.
As this awkward silence continues, as Brother Sykes then turns to this large stone slab, and then once again starts erasing some of the rune formulas and solutions, and then rewriting new ones, flipping through a book, and then peering at this device. Ty, you make your way back into the quarters with Djett and Varsha. Djett and Varsha, what are you doing at this time as this knock is ringing through the...
What are we doing at this time? How much time has passed?
How much time has passed?
Maybe not much, actually. Yeah, probably a couple of minutes since the last time we met you, because if that critical and that 20 was at the same time, then yeah, I think it is just probably 10 or so minutes. So not much has probably changed when it comes to the scene. There's probably still this embrace and still just reassuring and comforting of Djett as the door knocks.
Yes. Oh, it's Ty.
It's me.
Come in.
And then squeezing behind Ty is also Lane as well.
How you doing, Djett?
Better. Better.
Okay.
Lane makes way over to a crystal set of something and takes out pours a pitcher of an empty pitcher into one of the glass crystals. And as he does, he notices that it starts to pour water. And then offers it over toward you each. And he has one as well.
I grab one.
I'm okay, thank you.
Puts the mask back on. And then awkwardly brings the crystal glass set back over toward the table.
Where'd you run off to?
Needed a new sword.
A blue. I'm not sure if it's hidden. Is it hidden?
Nope.
There's a blue scaled scabbard with a scimitar within it, or at least
What?
it's got the scimitar curve to it. You double check here. Yeah. Anyway, that is what you see.
What did you get?
An old sword. Belonged to an old battle wizard. Don't know what it's called, but the owner was called Vaniyar, so I'll just call it that.
I see. It suits you in a way.
Yeah. No word from Smith.
Not yet.
Might go look for him.
A chair sort of squeaks, and I think it would squeak if it wasn't a carpeted floor, as it sort of tips and falls over as Lane stands up as if they were eager to follow you. Ty, go find Smith, and then like waits and looks reassuring, like, are we gonna go find Smith?
I'm sure he'll be here soon.
Bends down and grabs the chair and sets it back up and sits back down on it.
None of this really seems real. Still. But I am glad you're all here.
Yeah.
What do you want to do? I look at Ty.
Hey,
Yeah.
you already know.
I look at Djett for a second, and then back to Ty and a slight nod.
There's nothing left to do.
Yeah.
Whatever happens, I am there with you.
Of course.
If you want.
It is all I want.
Yeah.
Either all or none at all.
Just so.
Come in. Is that somebody knocking at the door? Oh, yeah, okay. Hey. How'd it go?
Yeah, I gave everybody an update. Brother Matazar is working on speaking to the rest of the academy and setting up some kind of defense. I don't know. They'll talk to us when they need to.
You use the thing. See if they're moving forces around, seeing if they're heading towards Pendulum, anything like that.
I left it to him.
We could
Had to
always
ask.
strike before they get a chance to.
Yeah.
They're expecting us to run. Regroup.
Yeah.
Put up defenses.
I
What if
don't
we
want to
just
do that.
don't want to do what?
Run.
No, I'm saying that's what they're expecting us to do. What if we strike now? What if we literally turn around and sneak back in.
I'm working on something.
Okay. What are you working on?
I think if I tell you, you might tell me not to do it.
Is it dangerous?
Yes.
Is it more dangerous than going straight back in there? Trying
Yes.
to cut off his head?
Okay.
But I also think it'll work.
Okay, what is it?
The way that I understand, Brother Sykes has confirmed this for me. A lot of people are going to die if I do this.
Everyone's gonna die eventually, Smith. What are you trying?
We think that the ley line, this magical site that we've encountered, there's one under Evervale, most likely directly under the castle. I think, if my math is right and the theories sound, what we saw with Brother Sykes' contraption, it uses void magic and it moves things from one place to another, just like the teleportation circles. That's why void magic is a part of the incantation as well as a part of the runic spell work that's required for creating the teleportation circle. When you use void magic, Varsha, does it feel like, and I don't know how you experience this, but I needed to ask you, which is why I'm bringing this up. Does it feel like the magic is coming or going from someplace else?
Ooh, that's a good question. GM? Do I have... Does it feel that way, or can I interpret it
You let me know.
differently?
You can interpret it
Okay.
any way you think
Okay.
Varsha's
'cause,
void magic would feel for Varsha.
No, it's just there. It's always there.
Brother Sykes and I talked about the possibility of void magic having some sort of connection to another place. And I think that's how Flaeryce Academy is here but not here. It's not an illusion. We're someplace else, but we're also there where we were. There is some sort of connection that is built to a location and another location. I want to use the ley line that's underneath Evervale Castle, and I want to send the whole castle into the void. And I want to sever the anchor.
Leave them there.
Yes.
cut the tether and leave them floating adrift.
Whatever happens.
They'll not be able to get back.
No.
What are we waiting for?
We don't know how to do it exactly. This is all theory that I've just made up.
Well, how long's it going to take?
Well, Brother Sykes has started working on it, and I don't plan on sleeping.
When
Sounds
you say
pretty
a lot of
convenient.
people are gonna die,
I mean, everybody in the castle, probably, but it might be worse. I don't know.
That is a lot of sacrifice. If I'm only just hearing about this now from you, but so you're saying to send the castle away the way we are away now, correct?
Yes. From what I understand of the runic spellwork, yes.
I understand that sacrifices must be made at times, but if there is a way, somehow, to send them away and cut the anchor, and then just leave them banished, at least that way we're not outright killing everybody. They can still live their lives, to some degree, out there. The way the mages here have.
We don't know where it would go. Or what would happen when the tether's cut, Djett.
do I know, DM, where it would go?
Make me an arcana with disadvantage.
Call it wishful hypothesizing.
With a 9, you do not know the answer to that question.
All right.
You could line up every single person in that fucking castle and I'll kill them myself.
Yeah, I think I would too.
I want you to think for a moment. I want you to visualize, and I know this hurts, Djett. I know it does. But I want you to visualize for a second the skyline of Evervale as we were leaving. And think for a moment what it would be like if Evervale Castle was just gone. The God King was gone. And the Loving Queen was gone. And Creighton was gone. What kind of an effect that would have on the Sworn and the people. Not killed. Gone.
You are right. Perhaps I'm just naive.
No, Djett.
No.
You're our anchor. And we thought we lost you.
Yeah, I am. You can all stop looking at me now. You are all mine too.
I think we should know how many people are inside that castle.
Who cares?
It's important.
For the spell? So you
No.
can torture yourself with it every night after it's done?
No. I just feel like it's part of being responsible.
Responsible for what?
Making
For
such
who?
a decision. It's one thing to just decide what I'm going to do with an entire castle full of lives. It's another thing to actually put a number to it.
Who was responsible for Djett when we failed him?
I'm not saying
It
I'm
was
going to
picked
change
up.
my mind. I just think it's important to know.
No.
It's important that we make these decisions the right way. And if we are going to decide to zap an entire castle full of people, I want to know how many people we're zapping.
Fine. Find them out. Make the list. But you can hand it to me afterwards. Whether it works or whether it doesn't.
Is it going to take the other prisoners as well? The ones
Collateral
underneath
damage.
Evervale?
I don't know.
Take the whole
think I
fucking
can-
city.
I don't know. Typically, part of the equation for the runic spell work that goes into a teleportation circle, for instance, you set up a size. That's the point of the circle. If we can set up a circle around the entirety of the castle, then I can contain it specifically to the circle. But if it's based on the power that is required, the energy that is required, then that's completely different. I don't really know how to know what is the required energy to send a castle into the void. I can try and base it on the size, but there's a lot of questions. I have to ask Brother Sykes if there's some kind of an equation to figure out how big of an object can go from here to there, or to be destroyed or recreated. I don't know.
Do
What are you doing
we
here then?
know if there are other dungeons inside the castle? Cause the oubliette that I was in when I got taken out, it wasn't there.
Waving their hands around is Lane.
It's a different tower.
As Lane sort of points to you, Smith, and then nods a bit and then makes a twisted crown sign indicating the God King. And then also makes a gesture about the castle. And then holds up one finger. And then they point over toward to Djett and gesture towards Djett and signify being locked away. And then gesture a gesture about the crystal and the tower, the separate tower than the castle itself, and that I can also just show us too that Evervale is, that's not the right button, signifying that the crystal tower was where Djett was underneath the catacombs
Okay.
of this tower, was where he was
Okay.
held prisoner. the castle to its left in this skyline here. And he tries to indicate this the best he can using various hand signals and things. And I think you, even probably for a while, it may take a bit and it's hard to understand. But I think this does get relayed, even if it is Ty who is using message and translating. But he does, because Lane
I
does
think we
know.
would know that too. I just didn't remember.
Yeah, I think you would too. Yeah, never mind. That's totally true. As he does say this, you would. That's totally true. You would 100%.
Oh, okay.
Know this.
Yeah, that's
that there are. The castle doesn't have. At least the catacombs of the castle are not used for prisoners. They utilize the catacombs of this other tower, and this tower also has a large tier of geoloon at its peak. And underneath that is where they would keep prisoners who are then need to be shipped out toward Stormford. But as far as the catacomb...
Use that, Smith.
Use what? The tower?
The top of the tower. The G-Loon. Use that.
It doesn't...
And take that with.
I don't know how any of the calculations work. It's just a theory.
Right.
I have to see how much power
underground.
Yeah. Yeah, we could.
Right.
The circle is the safest bet.
Let's do it.
I think we need more information, but
I am happy to help however which way I can.
I got a job for you anyway.
For me?
Yeah.
What?
You're gonna help me with something. Think
Okay.
you can manage?
Of course.
All right then. Ty, let's wait to hear back from Brother Sykes first. I know you want to get back out there, but just...
this could be worth the wait
Yeah.
if this works.
You can wipe them out in a blink of the eye. Do it.
Yeah. Think I can.
Or else I'll do it. However long it takes.
All right, let's get to it. So, Djett, see this shield here that I've got?
Yes.
All right. I'm gonna start digging around through my my pouch of artificer tools.
Mm-hmm. Imagine it's some sort of rucksack that usually affixes to the armor.
And, where'd I put it? Ah, there it is. And it's straight up just like a hammer and a chisel. And I just smack the fucking thing and break the shield apart.
Oh,
The shield, okay.
Yeah.
You want me to fix it? To show
No.
I'm capable? Okay.
I gotta just measure your arm there if you don't mind.
It's a couple hammer strikes, but a line is worked into the shield at some point. Also, you have heat metal, right, Smith? Or you did?
Yeah.
As I think using the gauntlet to heat some of the metal, of course, break the temper. And then as you are able to split this in half, you then start to holding it, these pieces up to Djett.
I sheepishly produce an arm. I give him my left arm.
An arm is raised toward you.
I stop for a second. I nod my head.
It is as if a hand just is not there. A perfect, seamless end.
changes my plans a little bit.
Oh,
But no worries. Slap you on the shoulder. Now, you had some troubles before with fire.
with fire.
Yeah.
Oh, the forest.
I figured you need to focus a little bit. What I've learned here at the academy, and well, from what I've learned from my armor, I think I might be able to whip something up for you.
Like a glove?
Yeah, why not?
Okay.
What we can do here is I can start to, I can set up a kind of binding here with the muscle. I mean, it should theoretically kind of be the same thing. I imagine I just need to tie it to your forearm here, and nope. Sorry, that might pinch a little bit.
It's okay. Just, there we go.
And then just work this a little bit, and
I think I did it. I think we have audio. We should be here. Can we confirm that it was a seamless ending? We'll never know. Anyway, thank you so much, everyone. That was episode 57, I think. Oh, and I've muted everyone in the chat. Okay, here we go. Sorry about that. It wasn't seamless. There's hope still. But that was 57, I believe it was. Yeah, that was sweet. Thank you, everybody, for hanging out and watching. This is Spellwind, my world of, our world. A lot of this stuff has been sort of collaborated and narratively explored with all of us. So thank you, everybody, for contributing to this awesome, cool setting and world. We're going to go around and...
Hi, everybody. My name is Brad.
There's Brad.
You can follow me on my... I just wanted to interrupt something.
Oh, yeah. Perfect.
I haven't done it in a while. I'm
good.
becoming too respectful in my old age, and it's...
How dare you?
Kind of annoying.
Oh,
Kind of annoying. You can watch my Twitch channel, twitch.tv/BradWoto. I play nothing but Kingdom Come Deliverance. It is the longest game of all time. Nothing happens in it, but if you want to see why...
Every time I tune in, you are on that horse riding somewhere. No idea where you're going, but you're on the horse, and you're...
No matter what you try and...
And it's usually like therapy talk. Yeah, it's great.
Because there's nothing else to do, but
yeah.
just chat. I've done 2 weeks of just chatting, but I'm on a horse.
But you're on a
But, yeah, but he's on a horse.
Horsey cab confessions.
Yeah.
So if you want to tune in for what has basically become group therapy, then you can head over to my Maya in America.
Maya! Hello, my name is Maya, and I played Djett for you today.
I really like what's happening here today. Go ahead.
Yeah, it seems as if every single character that I play with Myth, either as a player or as him being a DM, that character loses an appendage. I don't know if our belters ever lost. I don't know if my belter ever lost a hand during when we played the Expanse together.
It'll happen,
but,
and it'll be my fault.
I mean, like in my head, he's lost a hand in the time we've been away.
Right? It's just been,
You've just gotta.
Sorry, I had to get rid of your hand. It's
What did you do to me?
Sorry.
Anyway, so that's how we. That's how we
man.
we played it. Anyway, don't worry about it.
Yeah. Anyway. But yeah, what an episode. Those roles could not have been any more perfect.
It was sick.
And and I just love it. Play the ball where it lands and keep going with it. And I, for one, like my new spectral hand. So it's awesome. I think I'm really loving where we're going with the story. I love the idea that everyone has right now. And obviously, it seems like we're gearing up towards some really epic conclusion, at least to this current arc. So yeah, I'm super stoked. Anyway, that's me, Pumpkinberry.
Hi, I'm PB. You can find me at Twitch and Twitter at Pumpkinberry, and I'm playing through the Metal Gear series right now, which I love so very much. I'm also here tomorrow for the Lord of the Rings show, Ashes of Eriador, and so's Whack, and so's Meyer, and wow, that's
Not us.
okay. That's the perfect. No.
Brad or I.
Yes, and then I'm here on Tuesdays for Kingmakers, and you should watch it because and you should definitely watch next week, and just like it's great, it's awesome, and I love it, and please come watch it, and that's it.
Thank you,
bye.
PB. Thank you, everyone. Go follow PB. Do it. Whack.
Hi, everybody. I'm Whack Steven. I played Smith for you today. Thank you so much for joining us, as always. Much love. Much appreciated. Thank you so much to Myth for running this. And please go support Myth at patreon.com/Spellwind and all of the wonderful work that he's done on this show and in the setting. Thank you so much, Myth.
Thank you.
As PB has said, we've got Ashes of Eriador tomorrow at 4 p.m. Eastern, Lord of the Rings inspired show, so check it out. It's going to be good stuff tomorrow. I think that the crew has gotten themselves in a little bit of trouble tomorrow, so we'll see what the hell's going to happen. I'm a little nervous for them, but we'll see. Thank you so much, as always, for being here. I also run a 100 Club on Mondays, which is a sci fantasy dark comedy, as we are getting close to the end game of that show, so you need to check it out. I guess that's it for me. Thank you so much.
All right. See ya. Thank you. Thanks, everybody. As for me, hi, everybody. I'm Mythomatic or Cord. You can follow me, mythomatic.tv, where you can see the things I do and all the things I do and stuff. I am streaming Valheim Perma playthrough right now. So if I die, I reset the map and I start over. It's been a lot of fun. Also, chat can come in and other raiders can come in and spawn a bunch of skeletons, which happened the other day. Table Story killed my sweet build. I would thank you so much for the raid. But that happened. And you can come by, help or hinder my playthrough. It's been a lot of fun. We built a riverboat, and then we built Jabba's skiff, and I'm going to try to build something tomorrow. Go on to my Twitter and let me know what you want to see me build. The more extravagant, the better. Thank you, everybody. Be well, take care of yourselves, and see you tomorrow for Ashes. Bye.